Radiant's pick.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the not the Chinese qualifiers. This is actually the C qualifiers. We don't actually have the C image. We'll get it hopefully by tomorrow. But for now, we got Team Maven versus Fnatic, and this is the Manila's Masters C qualifiers. And Fnatic is up one game. The tagline shouldn't be too surprising, but rather you should be surprised by the fact that they weren't dominating. They eventually did win the game in a dominating fashion, but for the first 15 minutes or so, Maven was actually doing a lot better than what one would expect. In fact, Maven won the early game in my opinion. They were able to pick up a lot of kills. They shut down Ohio pretty hard. But eventually, Fnatic did make the comeback and showing off that they are the more experienced team. I am Luminous. I'm going to be joined by Tsunami for this game too, and maybe even game 3. So, how are you, man? I haven't talked to you for a while.
I know, it's been a while. Things have been going well, and now I see that despite an entire different balance patch being dropped, it seems that not very many things have changed. People are aware that we're in a 7.05 world now, right?
Yes. Monkey King did receive like 4 to 5 lines worth of nerfs, and as a result, he was picked up, I think, last pick of second phase last game. So I was like, oh, you know, people are reacting. It's like, oh yeah, Monkey King is good, but not that good. And then Fnatic, you know, picks him up first pick right here. So.
10 seconds.
And then Lena also got that respawn talent changed. It's now her level 15 talent, as opposed to her level 10 talent. And then Lifestealer also got like a fair number of changes. I believe that Open Wounds is more mana intensive at the early levels, and Rage gives lower attack speed. But you know, I guess these were kind of like B, C, D nerfs as opposed to like a whole new balance patch worth of nerfs. So far everything I see here is very reminiscent of, even the bans are like very reminiscent of 7.04. Like Magnus got some nerfs, he's still banned. Earth Spirit got some nerfs, he's still banned. Axe actually getting banned is a little bit surprising because a lot of people were saying that the Tranquil Boots change was an indirect nerf to Axe, being that it doesn't build out of ROP anymore, but I don't know, I'm not seeing very much different going on here.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think it's more for the early game, right? Like the 2 extra armor, especially when you're doing a lot of tanking, whether you're jungling or not, it actually adds up to a lot. I think the Windlace component is not as helpful to the Axe, but I mean, it's pretty common to see, especially like 1 or 2 days after the patch log, like a lot of these pros are mostly going with what they know best, which is the previous patch, and they're gonna have to take at least a week or so to learn this new one.
Yeah, that's true. And seeing as how Fnatic as a squad has had some growing pains, I mean, really there's not much to base it off of. It's just their Summit 7 Southeast Asia qualifier performances, but it wasn't the best showing for a new squad. And so the fact that they kind of, I guess, struggled against Maven. I don't know Maven. I don't know any of the players on Maven, but then again, I'm not too well versed in the SEA scene myself. But I don't know. Hopefully, Fnatic will take time to gel together, because hopefully it's just these initial few learning each other's style that's kind of holding them back, because for a squad with their star power, many people were expecting them to come right out of the gate with some amazing performances, and so far they haven't quite delivered on that yet.
I mean, their first opening match was against TNC, arguably the strongest team in C right now, so you know, it's not a surprise that Fnatic lost them. And they had a pretty close best of 3 series against Mineski, so I think, to be fair to Fnatic, they had tough opponents. I mean, if they rise up and beat those tough opponents, we'll be singing a different tune, but it wouldn't surprise me at all that Fnatic should beat Maven here. Either 2-0 or 2-1.
And seeing as how even like Faceless got knocked out of their SEA qualifier, clearly the entire region has been powering up, and so it's kind of difficult to really, you know, consider it to be one star superstar team going up against, like, you know, some less capable team. It seems like everyone in SEA now has the capability to beat everyone, as opposed to in years past where it was basically just like one team dominating the entire region, and maybe some other teams would get like 1 or 2 games off of them. Now it seems much more balanced throughout the entire region.
Yep. I want to ask you about the talent change for Lena though, because from what I've felt from the talent change, which is level 10 change from the respawn time to cast range, and then it swapped it for 15. I thought the old talent tree is just better. Don't you want the respawn time earlier on, or do you think the cast range is actually much more important?
Oh yeah, well, I definitely think the old one was early on. That's why I consider it to be a nerf.
Yeah,
I think most people consider it to be a nerf.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. The main reason was just because Lena's would probably finish Bloodstone by around like level 11, I'd say. And so the whole, insta-kill yourself either by suicide or by getting picked off in the gank and then just immediately re-entering the fight and winning the fight, that needed to be nerfed. And most people were considering like, okay, this is a bit overpowered. Respawn times talents in general have just been like very difficult for Ice Frog to balance. And so, yeah, it's a pretty flat nerf. I don't know how going forward what the preference will be between the LSA damage or the cast range, because I know in previous, really the only player actively using the LSA damage as opposed to respawn was Sumail during DAC. And I mean, he was doing well with it. He wouldn't even go for Bloodstone first, he would go for like Yules first. And so I'm curious to see what he'll be preferring going forward. Other players, feel like cast range is probably a little bit better than LSA damage.
I mean, it's just a different playstyle altogether, right? Because when you're going for the respawn time, you're mostly walking around as a bomb that explodes, and you're back in the fight again to unload all of your low cooldown spells. Whereas I think the Sumail plan is much more of assassination, right? You have the higher damage from LSA, you get the Yules to set up your combo. It's the same hero, but a very different playstyle.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess it's a very stylistic choice, so most people would probably still consider it to be a nerf, especially to this whole Bloodstone first build, but I don't know, other heroes also got some, minor nerfs. I don't think Slardar didn't get touched, Keeper didn't get touched, so Maven not dipping back into nerfed heroes again, and I think Abaddon did get nerfed with her strength gain nerf. Yeah, 2.5 to 2.3 is just minor. He's still definitely a top tier offlaner.
Yep. I mean, he had a patch of rough time at the DAC until some teams started winning with the hero. What do you feel about the overall strength of the hero, especially against something that like Keeper of the Light? Like a lot of Keeper's power is in that Mono League, and Abaddon having the ability to shield it off of himself or his allies is actually pretty big.
Yeah, it's surprising that Coddle in general has just kind of fallen off unless if it's like a specifically picked against a push strategy, or you want to do like some anti-tinker stuff. But to just kind of pick it as a general 5th position has been rare. And seeing as how pretty much everything in 7.05, like, I don't think very many supports got touched in 7.5, except for maybe Ancient Apparition, which no one's still gonna pick, and Shadow Shaman, which maybe some people might pick, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if we start seeing Shadow Shaman in more of like a core role as opposed to a hard 5 role, because hard 5 I think he's still garbage. But
well, Trian got nerfed.
That's true.
And then added to CM.
Added to captain modes, but I think he's still good though. I think he's definitely competitively viable.
In fact, I would see Trian fulfilling a fairly similar style that you see like Slaughter support or Monkey King support. Just being the guy that just walks up to you and show you what's up,
Yeah, either Monkey King Slaughter or maybe even like an Ogre style as well. Because, I mean, I guess Orb of Venom got some minor nerfs, but it was kind of like the DOT got increased, it was just the slow duration got nerfed. So still, it's basically the same item, it's still great on roamers. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him or in like a Earth Spirit kind of capacity as well, where you just like, you think you're safe and then all of a sudden you get bashed out of the wind. So yeah, I would like to see some more Treant Protector. We'll see moving forward if it matches team's playstyle. I'm surprised that Storm's getting picked. Storm didn't get touched in 7.05, but I don't know, the hero just has not been very easy to pull off, and Maven wasn't able to win with them in game 1, but they seem comfortable going back for it.
The interesting thing is
Fnatic's going for it this time.
Yeah, interesting thing is that the matchup between Lina and Storm Spirit is so heavily Lina favored. Last game though, somebody messed up the block for Kyo. Or Kyo messed up the block for himself. And in fact, we're gonna see Invoker versus Storm matchup. So that's I think that's a little bit easier for the Storm, in my opinion. Because Dragon Slave Harass is pretty rough for a Storm to deal against.
Yeah, a lot of Storm's power comes from his high armor, and so a whole bunch of magic damage will just ignore that. And Invoker just got like a 1 base strength nerf, so that's 20 HP less. So yeah, Invoker is still, you're gonna be seeing just as much Invoker before as you are ever.
Yep. Do you feel like the Lina first phase pick was picked as a mid in mind, and then they kind of swapped?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That like you said, Storm Spirit kind of has a rough matchup against Lina. So then why would they swap?
10 seconds
I don't know.
to go.
Because I felt like a lot of Lina's talent tree, especially the respawn time, is also much stronger as a core, right? Yeah, your support comes back faster. Who cares? You know, you don't have that high of a level or that big of a burst damage or items to back it up.
Right, and especially if she is in a support position, then she's not going to be hitting level 15 for a while,
Right.
and so you're just going to be rolling around with either that cast range or the LSA damage. So yeah, I am surprised that Maven's rerouting her as a support, because I think that it was picked specifically as like a core mid Lina, but I don't know, it's not like she does that great of a job against an Abaddon specifically that you're like, oh, okay, let's change our matchup situation to go up better against this Abaddon offlane, because yeah, her range is great, and maybe Ohio Abaddon will have to spend Aphotic Shields taking off that mana leak, like you said, as opposed to just going toe-to-toe with Lina and trading hits, so maybe that's why they prefer her in a support role.
Oh, make sure that you have your in-game audio
Open
turned
mic,
on.
yeah, I'm on it.
I wonder if it's a combination of the no field that Febby has access to, as well as the Aphotic Shield. Like, that's a lot of magic damage reduction combined, and maybe that's something that they don't want a core Lina to have to deal against.
Wait, null field and what else? The Aphotic Shield?
Yeah.
But then, then what's the support Lina gonna do any better? Because I agree, that is a lot of magic mitigation, but Alina has to deal with that all game long, and a Rubik won't get any points in null field. I mean, maybe you get it a little bit sooner against a core Lina. You put like 3 in telekinesis, 4 Fade Bolt, and then 1 null field before you max out telekinesis. But either way, you're gonna have to deal with that magic damage reduction at some point. And seeing as how most of the supports like Coddle and Lina are both heavily magic damage oriented. Wait, why is Maven burning down all these trees in the mid lane? Just for Monkey King?
Ah, I guess so.
Huh.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, that is pretty smart actually. Because like he can just go back to Shrine and it's like no skin off his back.
Yeah. Somewhere else there you go. Missed a couple of trees. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you gotta tango some, right?
I'll be chilling like Monkey right there, man.
30 seconds to show that.
Until, I mean, like, whenever Invoker has a tango, he only has one of 2 choices, right? So you better be very careful.
Well, no, he's probably gonna use one of those tangos for his branch first.
Ah, there you go.
He's fine.
Huh. I'm actually surprised that I have not seen that before.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, that's pretty clever.
You know the old shrines where it just, fully restores you? Look at that Lina after 1 shrine activation.
Oh, man, you're right.
That shrine nerfed him.
And away we go.
Yeah. Huh. I would have just spent 2.
I know, like, yeah. Who else is gonna use...
Right? Oh, okay, so let's see. What is Monkey King gonna be doing now? I mean, I don't think that changes his game plan. It's like, oh god, I can't gank mid anymore. But what has Monkey King's game plan been in 7.05? Like, what did you see in game 1? Was it mostly the same or what?
Yeah, just walking around. He was mostly protecting the safe lane, but looks like he's switching the lanes up. Obviously, that's somewhat game dependent. He's currently walking around as a Doge, which increases movement speed, which is not bad.
Did he get a full poor man's shield last time as well?
Yep, he did. Febby had to buy all of the starting items. But look at him now. Oh, he wanted to core your movement speed again, too.
Yeah, that's a very rare transformation. He needs to be careful. He doesn't have tree dance.
I mean,
although
I think that's fine. Like, look at him. He's just winning the lane for his... Yeah, well, how does he get to free farm?
And I guess now that Open Wounds costs 140 mana at level 1, then you can afford to kind of try to be more aggressive against the Lifestealer, maybe force him to burn that mana early on. And now that he's already confirmed that Skill Lay has Feast at level 1, he can afford to get this aggressive.
I mean, I think actually Open Wounds is pretty useless in this matchup, right? Because the Aphotic Shield just takes it off.
That's true, but I guess it may be a big enough window to give Lina enough time to get an LSA off, which I imagine is like the biggest issue that they'll have, is just landing LSAs. You saw this Rap miss one earlier against DJ, and so once Ohio and DJ get some boots, it's going to be even trickier.
Alright. Bottom lane very much so in the favor of Fnatic, in my opinion. Top lane though, Miracle trading a lot of hit against Leo. And Miracle does have the poor man shield. I don't know whether you saw his item leaving the base, but carry players nowadays have to... if you want the poor man shield, you have to buy the slippers first. None of that slipper in the side base anymore.
Right, and so you got the stout shield and side shop, yeah. Yeah, a lot of safe lane players have definitely been very unsatisfied with how the past few patches are going. I mean, a lot of people considered the PMS nerf to be more significant to carry players than offlaners because pretty much everyone was building PMS these days. But going out of base, you maybe needed less regen as an offlaner because you have a shrine that you can rely on, so you can afford to complete the full PMS as opposed to carry players which don't have a shrine. They need to have as much regen coming out of base as possible.
Right. I mean, carry players also don't have the Quelling Blade, Iron Talon, BS.
True. Which I thought was stupid. I don't know why that didn't get nerfed in 7.04, but whatever the case, it's gone now. Meanwhile, bot lane, I really want to get this kill on Rap.
No kill to be had, but still, the harass is there. And how's the mid going? Looks like Invoker losing the lane slightly, but he's going to pick up the CS once he gets more points in Exhort. I say overall, the lanes are fairly even, with the exception of Fnatic winning the bottom lane. And that's, I think, enough for them.
Yeah, I mean, Miracle has been able to get a surprising amount of last hits despite the level of harass that he's been taking. He's all out of regen now, which is a bit of an issue. And Leo is also getting a fair amount done on the Slardar as opposed to most, like, dedicated offlane Slardars, but as you have a coddle behind you, that makes it a lot easier.
Well, it's the reason why he's winning so much lane. Look at him just like straight spam. Miracle though does have slight bit of vision from his support and lower ground ward, so he is able to dodge some of these Illuminates coming in.
This is one of the reasons why Rubik has just like completely fallen off for the most part as a dedicated 5 position, because like he's not offering very much right now to Miracle. Aside from maybe protecting him from a few slithering crushes, there's not much that a solo Juggernaut would have worse off than a Juggernaut with a Rubik behind him, and so right now Febi's kind of trying to find a way to be useful. He has a TP, so if, you know, maybe the Storm Spirit finds an opening on Invoker, that would be a good attempt, but I don't know. 5 position Rubik has just been a very difficult thing to pull off, in my opinion.
I think it's always the case, right? It's not like his laning got nerfed recently or anything. He's just always been weak.
Well, he did get that attack range nerf in 7.04, but yeah, he has always been weak.
Like he's so squishy, he can't hit for any damage.
His spells cost like 1 billion mana and have super long cooldowns.
You're trying to hit people that buy poor man shield or have 80 reactive armor. You know, it's just not a good world to be living in.
Which is why I'm surprised that more magic damage oriented supports haven't like taken off. Like whatever happened to Skywrath? He just like
magic sticks
never gets picked. Yeah, I guess.
What's infused raindrops?
That's true.
All right, we got the Monkey King poured, and I do believe the ward actually saw them, and Leo is actually going to react. So, did it see him? Yeah, it did. This ward right in front of the tower.
Yeah, now it definitely sees him.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
I wonder, well, all the trees have regrown mid now, but part of me does wonder if he was just like, oh man, how am I gonna gank mid with this?
No, he actually, I don't think he even realized the tree got destroyed until he went there a little bit later to place a ward in the mid lane.
So,
well, I mean, Storm Spirit may have gone high ground during daytime.
Oh, here comes a jump here against, ooh, nice stun here by Leo. Wow. They lift him back, they have spin available, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough here. Miracle has a tower dive, and he doesn't want to have any of that. In fact, he takes one tower shot, he pops a healing ward, the crush is going to come through, nice micro, right clicks are coming through, Miracle's going to be fun because of healing ward. In fact, with the heal being coming through from the micro that he did, Sunstrike coming through, it's going to miss Miracle with a place. Going to turn a fight around.
that's such a difficult call as a Slardar because like your Coddle's charging Illuminate. Obviously he can't. Oh wow, that Illuminate almost clips Miracle and kills him. It's difficult as a Slardar because you want to kill that healing ward, obviously, but at the same time, oh, mid lane.
Kyo just gonna get cold snap, but he's gonna still jump around. Nice fairy fire, and he jumps away with the last zip. Kyo, perfect mana calculation with the arcane rune calculated in. Nicely done.
Yeah, that Fairy Fire almost saved Invoker, but this Storm Spirit has his 2 points in Static Remnant, 4 points in Overload. That's so much magic damage per right click, so with an Arcane Rune, you definitely need to be careful with all the procs you'll be getting.
You don't see this build too frequently, but having lower points into Remnant means the mana cost is actually not that bad, and if you're looking to harass or even jungle with Overload, it's actually, I think, the stronger build.
Does Remnant scale? I thought Remnant's flat.
The mana cost scale. Oh,
Sure?
it doesn't. Oh, never mind. I
think it was
thought I thought
changed.
it scaled like that originally.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was changed at some point.
Yeah.
One of the nerfs that like I think made Storm Spirit garbage was that it used to go up in mana, like you said. It used to be super cheap.
Right.
Now it's like a flat 100, and so that's why he fell off. I'm very surprised every single time I see a Storm Spirit. I mean, the players who are very skilled on him can always make him work, but teams have gotten better at dealing with him, and especially whenever you have like a Coddle that you have to deal with, it's so irritating for a Storm Spirit, and so QO is not going to have like a very pleasant time, so getting that kill on Invoker early on makes a big difference.
I think having a Photic Shield, again, it makes his life much easier to take away a lot of the worries.
True,
You don't have to worry
but at the
about being
same
chased
time,
as much.
Like, Abaddon's like a super slow hero, and Storm Spirit's like the antithesis. Like, he's gonna be going in and out super fast. I'm sure, like, the cast animation for Fog Shield, oh, top lane, another kill on Julio. You'll be so stuck in, like, cast animations while your Storm is, like, balling around. I don't know. I've never had, like, luck with that combination.
Well, we'll see it in the professional level of play. We'll see if it's gonna
True.
work out well. Kyo off to a very good start. I believe he's trying to pick up a point booster from the side shot. Or is that his Soul Ring? Yeah, that's his Soul Ring. So, pretty standard Bloodstone build. No crazy Orchid coming out.
Stupendous.
And DJ's dancing around the mid lane. I guess Storm Spirit can kind of donate the lane to the Monkey King for a little bit while he's jungling.
By the way, when you see this Arcana Jug on the minimap, does he look like Shrek to you?
The most common thing is that he looks like PA. Where are you getting Shrek from?
Shrek?
Oh, Shrek.
Yeah.
You said Shrek. Yeah, okay, I've heard PA and I've heard Shrek, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, like, and the red version doesn't change this minimap icon either, and so that's even more irritating. It does look like Shrek, you're right.
Alright, I heard Infest going off somewhere.
Yeah, he's inside this bear.
Oh, okay. I was
I don't
looking
know if he
around
was, like, about
heroes.
to die or something, yeah, no. I don't know if he was about to, like, get low or something. I mean, Ohio's been having a grand old time this
You
time.
look at
More
him.
denies and last hits. He has borrowed time. He has nothing to be afraid of right now.
Well, borrow time is going to trigger. Rap taking a ton of damage. Nice body block coming from skill lane, and Ohio has to
Very
back
nice.
off. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane, looks like it was a big engagement. Kyo doing a lot better. Sunstrike's going to come through. Not going to hit. That's going to be so Kyo. Has a haste rune as well. Nobody dies on Fnatic.
I don't know if that was like nerves of steel from Kyo to not move, or he just didn't think that a Sunstrike was coming, but that was just like pixels off. Invoker was planning for Storm Spirit to at least like retreat slightly, but Kyo was just standing his ground 100% in the same spot, and 3 heroes go down for Maven.
Yeah. So this is kind of what I expected casting this series. Like, I thought Fnatic is going to have the individual skill to win their lanes, and now we're seeing that. 6-0 here for Fnatic. If we're looking at net worth, we're looking at 4,000 net worth lead in 10 minutes of play. Fnatic's farming 400 gold more every minute.
Yeah, all their lanes are going exceptionally. Even like, I don't know. So what do you go for? Okay, so Ohio right now has a Midas queued up. A lot of people were saying, okay, so who benefits the most from the gold as opposed to the experience from
Yeah.
Midas? And so I guess Abaddon doesn't really care too much about levels. He cares more about completing items, like that
Yep.
Radiance, which I imagine is still the build. So Abaddon definitely benefits from that new Midas change. Invoker, on the other hand, he gets hurt heavily from the new Midas change.
I agree. Well, Invoker, I want to say, is also pretty gold starved, so it's not too bad for him.
True, but a lot of his farming potential comes from his levels.
Correct.
Ohio, like, he really does
Oh,
not care
he's
what
just
your
shooking
farms
left,
are.
he's shooking right. Okay, they pull up the slaughter. Here comes the spring. Big stun's gonna come through. The rage pops off here from Skillay, but now Skillay is running away
He
from
has
his
him
team.
fast. He wants to get in!
Oh, nope. The slow coming in from the Abaddon is gonna be good enough. Meanwhile, Q on the backline looking for Wrap, and it's gonna be a wrap here. 0-9. As Maven is feeding to a godlike streak. And Fnatic takes the tower down.
Yeah, this is very clean.
I'm just
All
gonna
the
say,
lanes-
when you have heroes like Lina and Kato as your support, and you're losing the early game this badly, those are not the heroes that are gonna pull you back. They're just not good at finding kills. Don't have a lot of control, they don't have a lot of... I mean, the AoE to counteract pushes is good, but look at this.
You just put up another 85 shield, no
Yep, okay,
worries.
let's go again. Alright, pretty good zoning out here from DJ. On the left side here, they do find the
in.
Slaughter, they pull him up on the hill. Oh, it feels bad, man. They do get the kill. And DJ is gonna walk away from his tree status.
And 2 tiers of towers just get bum rushed in the bot lane. Still 0 kills on the board from Maven. Meanwhile, no one was able to push the top lane because, I mean, Invoker, he's sticking around mid for the most part. He has nothing better to do, and you needed the 4 other heroes to, I guess, put up a defense. It may have been in Lifestealer's best interest to just go to the top lane after he died, but why I don't know, he's heading mid, but now he's kind of screwed.
Okay.
Omni Slash.
So I think the only way that they have a shot right now is forget everything. Give Leo wherever he wants to farm, give him the blink. Because that's the only way they're gonna make comeback. Ohio's gonna survive a gank up top here.
And Febi's gonna survive a gank in the bot lane.
Oh, nicely done by Ohio. Pops his ultimate. And you know.
Okay, so you're banking on them being able to get kills with the Lifestealer bomb, right?
Or not even just a lifestealer, like all of your offense comes through this Slaughter, right? If you just want to
True.
blink Sunstrike, whatever, like it has to come through from the Slaughter.
But then who do you kill with that? Because like Juggernaut
DJ.
may be able to Blade Fury.
DJ gets, okay, there you go.
Well, he does die. And that's a killing streak.
I mean,
to a Lina.
It feels like it doesn't matter who you kill. I mean, obviously you want the cores, but anybody you kill right now is going to give you quite a bit of gold because they are so far ahead.
Yeah, that's true. My main issue is just that, like, it's very difficult to kill a lot of these targets. Like, aside from that, Monkey King is generally pretty evasive. Like, Abaddon's a nearly impossible kill right now. Same with Storm Spirit. He doesn't have the most mana, but he has a Bloodstone completed already. Meanwhile, top lane, they want to kill Miracle, but again, he has Blade Fury and Healing Ward. All these targets are so difficult.
Insane. About to be absolutely wrecked here. Nicely stunned by DJ. And now Insane trying to juke. He's trying to pour it out, but the pool is available. That's going to be 1 kill on the right side. QO in there again. Already getting 2 charges to the Bloodstone. That's something I've noticed about DJ's Monkey King play. His Boundless Strikes, or like Fissures, it's always getting 2 to 3 targets every single time.
Yeah. Definitely as the hero has seen more and more competitive play, a lot of players have been... It's kind of like a little bit risky for Monkey King.
Finmail. Finmail thinks he's cool right now, but he's not.
He's gonna get punched in the face.
Yep. Well,
Yeah. This is looking very grim. At least they put a number on the board with... Who did they kill? Oh yeah, the Monkey King.
Yeah.
But... I mean, in my opinion, your best way in getting into this game is getting Coddle and Ag, as opposed to getting Slaughter or Blink.
I think
Because
that's
at
what they're
least then you can,
trying.
like-
Because
Yeah.
Kato was like farming top lane most of the time, but they need the axe like right freaking now because here comes a tier 3 push.
Lina's level 6, so she has a Laguna.
Okay, here comes the jump in. They want the Lina. The Shrine gets activated, but it doesn't matter. Now they want to go on the Invoker. Ultimate's going to come out from Monkey King. Meanwhile, Ohio's just zoning out the rest of the team. That's going to be 2 more. The sad thing is, I don't think we're even going to see a 3-2-2 because Fnatic is about to just get the first lane of racks here. Okay, maybe not. Big crush coming from Leo. It's going to start right now, Q. A lot of trouble. He's going to try to jump away, getting completely changed, son. Well, that's the 3.
Alright.
Alright, maybe we are going to see a 3-2-2. We literally just saw one. Great buyback here from Maven. And was that a Blink Dagger? Is that how he got in? Yes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Maven, they didn't have a meteor to combine on top of that, but still, a big rebuttal here from the Maven team.
Yeah, the most important thing is that cold snap had QO locked in place the entire time, and with as many Bloodstone charges as he had, he thought that he could get out, but it was just chain stunned and couldn't even get the suicide off. Still has like 12 Bloodstone charges because he had such an exceptional lead early on, but definitely signs of life. Not even a tier 3 finish, so shrines can be taken, and now that Leo is able to create a little bit more of a threat on the side of Maven, it gives Finmel more room to farm up his Aghanim Scepter, which he's completed the point booster now. And so it gets a little bit easier if he can continue to push these lanes out.
Skillay walking towards the slaughter. I think they're trying to group up and get themselves a smoke, but this war, dude, sees it all. Okay, they see them coming. The question is, will Fnatic respect the fact that there is a blink bomb coming through? Vision check here from Maven. They don't see anything. The smoke breaks, and now it's going to be a bad sign for Rap. They jump forward. They don't hit anything with the stun, and now it's going to be Slaughter getting absolutely blown up before the fight even happens. QO jumping on the backline, out of mana already, and looking for Insane. Insane gets the port back out. So far, not bad here for Fnatic. They will get the core as well. And, well, this is not what they expected when they smoked up, but...
It could have gone a lot worse, though. At the end of the day, technically you only gave up a failed bomb with a Slargar and Lifestealer. Invoker was able to get out, and that was very important because that would have been his dieback death, or buyback death. And so him staying alive is pretty valuable. And he's working on his Aghanim Scepter. So, like we said, one of the advantages of the 7.05 Midas is more gold. He gets 220 off of that troll creep. Which actually, I wonder if it's worth going for the smaller creeps now that the XP multiplier is less.
I think so. Actually, it might be one of those scenarios where the threshold matters. If it hits you up a level, then you get the big creep, but it doesn't, then you get the small creeps. But who's gonna sit around and do that math?
Either way, he's about 1,500 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter, and that helps their base defense a lot, because again, it's all about buying time for this Coddle to complete Aghanim Scepter. Once he gets Ag, then Fnatic have a pretty hard time pushing out. Yeah, they do have Nullfield up and running in about one more level for Febby, but you still need more than that.
Pretty much every tower on the map is free here for Miracle to siege at. Miracle going for a fairly standard build. In fact, he hasn't even really finished any major item yet. The game is still so early. Just working towards that MKB, or sorry, Mantis Style.
Yeah, another way to deal with the leak, deal with corrosive haze, deal with open wounds. Mantis Style has a lot of value this game.
Tower will go down. I think they're going to just go high ground. Maybe they're going to go top instead, because the tower is quite low.
Yeah, Finmel needs to be very careful, because if he gets picked by QO, then instantly this push gets... Oh man, he needs to be careful!
Alright, Aghanims is up. The Lifestealer Bomb is at ready. They are clumping up right now. It's going to be the Lina getting caught up. Blink stun. Where is he? He actually does not get stun off, and he gets lifted by Febby. Omni Slash going to fly through. Slaughter has not done a single thing. Q out of mana, but still has the Aegis. Skillay is about to be dead. And it's going to be 322 exact here. The teamfight goes on here. Kyo jumps away after eating the Laguna Blade. In fact, still somewhat tanky. Rap trying to fight here. Not going to win the fight. And Kyo still alive thanks to the healing ward. Still regenerating back up. And of course... the rest of the team has taken down the melee set of racks, working on the range. And Fnatic didn't even lose anything. Not even the Aegis.
Monkey King had his Basher completed before that fight, and at 18-19 minutes, you can't fight into a Wukong's command with Basher. That's just like, there's nothing you can do against that.
Okay, Tornado, EMP. That's a pretty big Illuminate as well here, but Leo looks like he's unable to get off the combo again. Kyo will go down, but that's his only first life. Or will he go down at all? It looks like he's going to convert the rest of his mana to fight. Here comes some respawn, and that Storm is about to go off. No 3-man stun coming through. Where's the LSA? A little bit late. Rap missing the combination here. And now Kyo just goes off. Fighting through the Shine regen. Yep, it's going to get the kill. Kyo just going to jump away. Ohio, of course, he's always going to be safe. And Miracle... Objective Gaming is going to take a second lane of racks.
I mean, as bad as I feel for Maven, it does feel good to watch people die underneath the shrine. Yep. And they're going to call GG and instantly disconnect.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this game was pretty much over. when they were rolling the tier 1 and tier 2 bottom. The base defense at the top lane gave them a ray of hope, but they really needed to win pretty much every single fight after that. And Fnatic wasn't going to give them that.
Yeah, Fnatic didn't even give them the lanes to win, and with semi-greedy supports like Alina and a Keeper of the Light, you can't afford to lose your lanes that heavily, so I would probably chalk this up maybe to like 80% a draft victory, but for once, well, I don't know, for once, I haven't been keeping too close on Fnatic. I didn't know how well they played in game 1, but this was like a very cohesive match that they played, in my opinion. All their heroes were working together properly, they were getting their combos off. They had a pretty organized strategy of pulling down these lanes and taking all the towers, so Fnatic looked very clean this game.
Yeah, for me, it was the bottom lane, because that first 30 seconds of the laning phase just like kind of spell out how the rest of the game would have went. DJ single-handedly zoned out 2 heroes by himself. Yeah, Slaughter was able to get a lot out of the top lane, but at the cost of the safe lane losing very poorly, right? I think they needed to defensive tri-lane there to make sure that, you know, Abaddon just didn't go off like he did. So, alright guys, that's going to conclude our broadcast here today. There are more matches going on, but I personally don't have the time to cast it. I don't know what is the next game that's coming up, so I guess stay tuned. Maybe BTS is going to find themselves another caster, but it's not going to be me. I'm out, guys. Thanks for helping out, Tsunami. It was great actually casting with you again. We might be doing more broadcasts in the future. We shall see.
All right, hit me up.
All right, we're done now, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye.